So I used to train to failure on literally every set for years. And a lot of the reason why I did this was because, first of all, it was fun to train to failure. And when you're really pushing that last rep, I just found that it's actually really enjoyable. And I also just felt like it was really productive because I thought that the best way to invoke hypertrophy and to build muscle growth is to really go close to failure. And it's that last rep which really counts and which is going to give you a lot of muscle growth. However, recently I've started to implement a routine where I've started to just drop that last rep off and I've been leaving one rep in reserve for each and every set when I'm in the gym. And I found that overall, my workouts are still just as fun, and I found that actually it leads to you being slightly more productive, which is what I'm going to go over in this video today. So, a couple of reasons why I decided I would stop training to failure is that there's been a lot of research coming out recently showing that it creates a lot of fatigue. And this is something which I agree with because once you do that last final set in the gym and you're really pushing on that last rep, and it just is like a grinder where your arms are shaking and you're pushing that weight up, I found that afterwards your central nervous system is just shot. I feel like I'm tired, I'm breathing heavy, and overall this fatigue is going to carry over into your subsequent sets and into the rest of your workout as a whole. There's also been a little bit of research which is quite interesting, which is showing that on that last rep, so that last rep right before failure, your motor unit recruitment, which is essentially just neurons which activate your muscle fibers, it actually drops off significantly because your strength has gone down so significantly. So overall, what that really shows you is that training to failure invokes very little muscle growth. However, what it does do is it creates a lot of fatigue, which is going to upset the productivity for the rest of your workout. So I looked into this, and so I decided that for the last couple of months, I was going to leave that last rep off, and I was going to see what happened to my training. So overall, from these last few months after leaving that last rep off and not training to failure, I can say that the results are actually pretty clear that this has helped me quite a lot. And the biggest reason is because I just found that I had so much more energy to give as a whole spread across the whole routine. So instead of just expending all my energy in that first set or the first couple sets, I found that by leaving that last rep off, I wasn't anywhere near as fatigued, I wasn't breathing as heavy, I wasn't as tired throughout the workout. And then overall, I could carry on a lot more energy and just be a lot more productive throughout my workout as a whole. So because I was leaving that last rep off, it just meant that my next subsequent sets in the workout were going to be a lot more productive because I wasn't carrying over that accumulated fatigue anywhere near as much. So this just led to my progressive overload going through the roof, where every set I was pretty much just being able to lift a little bit more weight or just do a little bit more reps for each of the subsequent sets. And overall, I just found that the total potential for growth in the workout just improved because I was able to lift heavier and I was able to actually be more productive, and I wasn't carrying over fatigue from different muscle groups which I had at the start of the routine. And so therefore, I just found that you have more productive sets in the workout routine, and overall, as a whole, your workout's just going to lead to a higher amount of potential muscle growth. So even though I like training to failure and I do think it's fun, I don't recommend that you do it on each and every set, which is what I used to do. And overall, it might actually be a little bit better to just do that maybe in the last final 1 or 2 sets in your workout. But it's when you do it on each and every set, that's where your progress is really going to tank because you're going to be far too fatigued and you're just going to be able to lift a lot less. You're going to have less strength, less energy, and the workouts just become less productive. So the real reason and the real way that you actually build muscle is through progressive overload. So this is the metric you should be looking at. And when I started measuring progressive overload, when I dropped off that last rep and stopped training to failure, I just found that overall I was just able to continually put on a little bit more weight or just a little bit more reps on each and every set I was doing in each workout for months at a time. And I think that a huge reason for this was just because my energy was higher and because I wasn't so tired throughout the workout routine. So even though it is fun to train to failure, I still find that you can still get a really good pump and you're still pushing really hard on that when you're still training and you're just going 1 rep shy of failure. So overall, I would say that my enjoyment for training didn't actually go down. And I would actually say it improved a lot because I had more energy and I wasn't as tired throughout the whole workout. So Personally, this is my experience with just leaving off that last rep to failure. I found that overall I had more energy, more growth potential, and my workouts were more productive as a whole. So I hope this helps you, and I recommend giving this a try and just seeing how it works for you.